I think about the fact that I started this podcast 2 years ago after returning from a trip from Bogota that my cousin Omar made as a really impromptu thing. We had a fantastic weekend. We met some really cool people. I did some stuff in Bogota that I had never done before. And it was cool because he was the second person to visit me while I've been exploring my life and work abroad. And so I am excited because after this specific event, I had finished a book. I think I just wrote my second book. And I decided, you know what, I got a lot of thoughts in my head. So I specifically need to have something to record it. And so I have like tons of voice notes on my phone about the things that are in my head. But I was like, you know what, some of the stuff that I say, it could be in the world. And if I choose to tell people, they can subscribe to me and hear what I'm thinking. Because whether it's my choice or not, I have alone time. And in alone time, I think you get to see what your real thoughts are. And you get to master your thoughts in a different manner than you would master them around people. So after a year of podcasting, I was like, oh, let me add some people. And then I decided to add some people, and I made it an academic thing. And then I realized that my passion is to teach and to talk and ask questions. And so I'm so appreciative of the many, many people that have volunteered their time, voices, and efforts to this podcast project endeavor that I'm doing. And it is my ambition, because why hide your ambition? My ambition is to have millions of followers that can hear my voice and the voices of people that are connected to my life. And since I know life is not over, I'm going to continue to connect to people. And I think you matter on a level that you are unaware of. You matter. And what you think and what you offer the world and what you put your voice in the world is a different stamp. It's different than a book. It's different than a song, because they get to see the real you in conversation. And the conversational you is a less guarded person when you're relaxed and you feel you're making a contribution. So with that being said, thank you so much for the support for 2 years. I'm going to go back to playing video games because we can mark it on this date in 2020. We were dealing with a quarantine, and we go from there. So have a good one. So thinking about the 2 years, I wanted to talk about how there was an evolution of a part that I'm proud of and that I enjoy doing, and that's the covers of each podcast episode. Love them. The first, it looks like 10 or so, I probably did. Actually, they didn't have covers before. It was just the standard cover art. But then I went back and I redid the first episode and the first book in interviewing others, World Cup, politics, and classism, the Twitter's downside to being a man, democracy, meeting the books, Happy Father's Day, Apple versus others. All those things I redid, but those were after I started to get intrigued with creating covers for the people, because I said to myself, if this podcast is about other people, then you want to create an archive, a thank you, a shrine, sort of a way to show appreciation and highlight the person who is the voice of the podcast, the voice of the people for the episode. So I remember specifically when I did the Getting Fit in 42 interview with Casey Washak. Loved him and appreciated him for being the first voice outside of my own, other than my students, and using his Fit in 42, growing with Matt, with the professional teachers, the college football preview, the language learning with Omar Newman, the Premier League preview with Andrew and Billy, and the relationships with money. And I made all those covers thematic based on the topics. And then I thought about it as I moved forward with Carrying the Burdens with Alex How to Mold a Youthful Mind with Dante Bloom with the cover of Olisa's book. And then my homeboy JB gave me the cover for the crew, because that's the crew cover that he uses in our chat group. And then I used the King Staffing logo that they had, and I just did art for Elliot with traveling, DJ M. Leezy with the DJing, and then when I did Christopher Corrado, and I put his pictures in there, and in that moment I knew I needed to start putting people's pictures. So then with Eric Cristiano and the massaging, I used his cover, and then I put me as a cover. And then from that point forward, definitely thanking Angela Holton. I use Angela Holton from that point forward, and I use people's pictures. And then you got the crew, which I just kept with the crew thing. Omar and Lusaka, I used their pictures to highlight them. Sean, Class D, Sydney and Janelle, River, Kieran and Kobe, Dr. Cabell, Jay, Shannon, Matt, and Andrew again. I didn't use it for the veteran speakers, but I used it for Tamika with Lupus. I used the cover to do the preview of the preview and review of the Decade Maze Concepts with Razak, Trey, Jay again. The Kobe one was really serious because it just sort of co-passed, and it was serious, but it went with the Super Bowl. Then I had April and Josh, and I started getting better. I started to have a vision of what I wanted it to look like. Postcard views with Roger Phillips, Emily Williams with cheerleading, my grandma's birthday, that's my heart. Natalia and Mafe killed it. 2 episodes. Then I did the elections, which I pulled away from the covers because, politics is a sketchy issue. And while these guys were proud of their views and they supported their own views, it's a difference between what the public may use them for. So I wanted to protect them. Elliot giving us that coronavirus update, doing an NCAA bracket with a bunch of people. So since it was a mix, I skipped the picture. The insurance with Maria Overcash and talking about coronavirus, really another good one. Another politics episode, again, just the same mentality about politics. I know even though this was the quote-unquote liberal side, Matt and Shannon were gracious enough to support that episode, so I wanted to make sure that, I respected whatever wishes. While they didn't say they didn't want me to put it on there, I understand how volatile politics can be, and I want people to keep their livelihoods because that's important. When Todd Cooley jumped on there and offered a response, Christian Huggins killed it with his baseball picture. I loved making his. I really like doing the workout one with Lottie and Class D again. Chris Jones killed it with storytelling. I enjoyed making the cover for the 2012 A season. We wanted that alternate universe. Doing one with Couch Servants with Ninad and Natalia on the picture. Then The Last Dance, which I look forward to continuing till the documentary series is over. Doing Brian Jones's was really, really good. I have a few more episodes coming up that I won't reveal what they are because obviously I'm recording in advance. But this has just been a great thing. And the evolution of the video previews of how they started to now where I'm using different applications to create. So I'm very excited that the 2-year mark has been hit. Again, my ambition is to go further, to empower more voices, to megaphone more voices, and to get some sponsorships out there to get businesses megaphoned as well. Obviously, I would want the businesses to support me, and I would support them. So we can work relationships like that out. But my goal is to become better and better because every breath I draw is one less that I'm going to have in my life. So let me make this breath that I draw the very best one. 2 years of creation, of me just sort of ranting and raving and having fun. And allowing you and inviting you to listen to the conversations that I have with my friends, my families, my associates, my business partners, everybody. It's really exciting. I'm looking forward to more.